Hey, welcome to Certainly Doom Reviews.
It's Kurt.
I'm Sam.
I'm Katie, and I forgot my name.
And I'm Corey. I'm hosting this week's episode dubbed Rom-Com Cinematic Universe, aka 13 going on 30.
You're so happy about that title.
Yeah. This is a classic 2004 rom-com, gotta watch it kind of a movie.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, most people know what it's about, but if you don't, stars Jennifer Gardner and Mark Ruffalo, star in this hilarious flash-forward romance about a preteen girl who goes from geek to glamorous with the help of some magic wishing dust. 13-year-old Jennifer becomes 30 and gorgeous in an instant. Everything she's ever wanted except for her best friend Matt. Now this grown woman must create some magic of her own to help the little girl inside of her find the true love she left behind. Isn't that cute?
It's so cute.
It's so cute.
Also, that synopsis missed the opportunity for the 30, flirty, and thriving.
I know. That's okay. I should have changed it.
It's fine. We know it's there in our hearts.
So it does star Jennifer Gardner, Mark Ruffalo. It also has Judy Greer and Andy Serkis?
Yep.
Okay, great.
All of them have been in Marvel movies.
Which is why we have that name.
Brie Larson was in it for maybe 5 minutes. Not
Yes.
even that, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is 98 minutes long. Like I said before, it came out in 2004. And we watched it on HBO.
Yep.
HBO Max.
And so can you.
If you have HBO Max.
I mean, if you do, great. If not, go to any place that sells movies and you will find it. Congratulations.
It's probably on Lifetime at least once a week.
Probably at this point.
Okay, so I definitely think it's a watch it. It is so classic. It is just the quintessential rom-com. It is like one of the highest standard movies for this genre.
I agree. It's a watch it for me. I absolutely love this movie. Kurt, we'll make Sam go last because he's the only one that hadn't seen it.
It's a watch it for me. It's my second time watching it. I still had a lot of fun with it. And it's definitely, as far as rom-coms I've seen, one of my favorites, but definitely not my favorite.
And Samuel?
To watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I really thought he was going to be like, don't watch it.
I mean, I don't like rom-coms, but it's,
Decent rom-com?
yeah.
Did you have fun with it at least?
Sure.
So convincing.
Hey, Jennifer Garner's hot, right?
I don't really find her all that attractive, to be honest.
Now we know. Slowly narrowing your taste in women, Sam.
All right, Jennifer Garner, no. Anna Taylor-Joy, yes.
Zendaya, yes.
Put Sam on the spot over there.
So that concludes our watch it, don't watch it
Full spoiler warning for a 2004
movie.
This
rom-com.
movie is almost 20 years old, so...
This movie is older than people in high school.
Wow.
This movie's...
Katie's face was just
Katie is, again,
so,
older than this movie.
Oh, God. All of us in this room are older than this movie.
I know,
I'm
but...
older than this movie by 10 years.
Dang, I was maybe 4.
Yeah. Yeah, you were.
For our non-visual watchers, I'm flipping Kurt off.
So let's go into least and best performance. Worst and best. I thought the best performance, of course, was Jennifer. She does such a great job being confused and like what's going on. She comes off like a 13-year-old who has no idea what's going on throughout 90% of it.
Yes,
But she's trying real hard. And she does a great job at it. You genuinely feel like she is this person that this has happened to. And you genuinely like her. I think that I just love Jennifer herself.
You definitely do,
I
but
do.
that's okay.
But I think in this movie she does a really great job at the role that she's given.
She does. She's very bubbly, and she almost feels kind of like cartoon-like in the way that she portrays being a 13-year-old as an adult. And it's a lot of fun to watch, especially like as far as like best part to me is the thriller scene.
You know, I'm gonna hard disagree with both of you. I think Jennifer Garner is amazing, but I really like Mark Ruffalo in this role. I'm not saying I don't like Mark Ruffalo, but he has a tendency anymore to just kind of play Mark Ruffalo? Does that make any sense?
Yes, because like Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds in every movie he's in.
And The Rock is The
Mark
Rock in
Ruffalo
every
has
movie
that
that he's
stupid
in.
Mark Ruffalo like look on his face. And I'm not saying that he just
He hasn't perfected it yet.
yeah, and he hasn't perfected that like constant, almost lost look he has in movies, where he looks like he stumbled on set dressed up and then pretended to be Mark Ruffalo for a day.
What's great about that is like the meme that goes around about Mark Ruffalo where he like fangirls about everybody on the red carpet and they're like, somebody should tell Mark Ruffalo he's famous too.
Yeah, but that's the look he has in some of his newer movies. But in this one, he doesn't have it. And there's that scene at the end when he's just like, hey, he goes, we made our choices. We moved on. That's the best acting I've seen from Mark Ruffalo. And this is one of his first roles. To be fair, I think the MCU kind of ruined him.
And that's the hot take for this episode, apparently.
Sam?
My favorite performance was Andy Serkis. It was great to see him not in a mocap suit or do a South African accent or whatever Claw has.
That's valid.
Okay, and least favorite parts? Or performance?
Least favorite part.
Brie Larson.
Least favorite performance. I don't know that I really have one.
That kid who stared directly into the camera.
We have
He didn't blink.
We have a thing against child actors now. First the little girl in Prisoners, now the one that just stares into the
Yeah,
camera.
at the end, when in the wedding scene, she's just staring into the camera when Jenna is walking across the driveway.
As she takes her dream house that Mark Ruffalo kept for all those years.
And this could be more, like something I do really want to get into later. Mark Ruffalo's fiance, I felt like I didn't like her. I really like her performance, but I also think her writing was ass. But I really do want to put a pin in my big problem with that until later.
I think I know what your big problem is going to be.
She's like fine. Although I will say the best part is when Jenna runs into Matt on the sidewalk and then the fiance walks up and then Jenna's boyfriend shows up and Jenna introduces him, this is Matt and his friend, and she's like, fiance. Just the attitude. We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think her writing was really poor. I think she was made to be that way, and I think I know what you're going to say later, but they make her kind of unlikable, because like she's like, you can take pictures of pill bottles anywhere, because in the movie Matt is a photographer, and that's one of the things that he does.
Just, advertisement, so...
Yeah. Well, they make her character so that you're rooting against her because they want...
The two leads to be in love.
Exactly.
Yeah. So... I do agree that she was written very unlikable for that reason, but that kid staring into the camera.
Unblinking. I'm going to see that in my nightmares, yo.
I hope so.
Like, I'm going to be, like, just existing, and I'm going to turn my head, and there's that unblinking child.
Yeah. Okay, I guess if I gotta pick a least favorite performance, it's gonna be Jenna's boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
He was just... I don't even have words. He was not good.
No. Okay, and then favorite part? Oh.
Yeah, well, yeah, he only has like 2 scenes.
That was enough for me to go, not great.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, I guess because I probably shouldn't just say Brie Larson because she's in it for a total of 4 seconds, but...
He's in it maybe 5, so it's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just, I guess, to show how terrible of a person she is, but literally every scene just shows how terrible of a person she was before she took up 13-year-old self took over. But yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't a great adult.
Okay. Best favorite part?
Thriller. I love that scene. It's so iconic.
It is so iconic, and that dress is so iconic.
It is. Every time I hear that song, that's what I picture in my head is that scene.
Yeah, I love that scene.
It's just fun, and that's the kind of feel-good moment that you want in your rom-coms.
Yeah.
Where, like, there's absolutely no freaking way that's gonna ever actually happen. You're not gonna have just one person who takes to the lonely dance floor and starts dancing to Thriller. It's not gonna happen.
Everybody would just start filming that person and be like,
What the fuck is this dude doing?
look at this loser.
Yeah, exactly. But watching the movie, it's such a cute scene, and it just makes you smile and laugh. So
I would like to counter this. Have you ever seen a wedding that nobody's dancing and then they play Gangnam Style?
Not Gangnam Style. They always play Cupid Shuffle.
yeah,
Everyone always goes up for Cupid
or
Shuffle.
the cha-cha slide.
Yeah.
Specifically a white person wedding?
Yeah, I was gonna say those are white people weddings,
Um,
because those are the only things that I can dance to, and that's all.
They
The
played
only
the
time I get
cha-cha
up.
slide at the Hispanic wedding we went to.
That's true. I guess for clarification, I was adopted into a very Hispanic family despite being a Asian, so
Jesus Christ.
Despite being a Asian.
that's I'm like a quarter Asian, and I'm not just like generalizing. No, like it's all over Asia, and then the rest of it's white.
I don't know how we move on from this point, but okay.
Okay, my favorite part, I've already alluded to it earlier. The first time, I'm going from the first time I watched this a lot of times with this, because sometimes, it changes with rewatches, and the first time I watched this, that scene with Mark Ruffalo was really hitting, because I thought they weren't going to let her go back in time, and I understand it, and it's a rom-com, but that moment really had me going like, oh my god.
The scene in the
She's
end.
stuck.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, she's stuck. He's like, this is going to be about telling her, like, hey, you have to live with all those shitty decisions. You technically did them, even though, of course, you have a different mindset now, but you still did them, live with them. I'm like, oh my god. Like, why do people like this movie? This is such a downer ending. I'm like, man, this is a little harsh right now, but, I think it's a whole speech about learning, hey, these are your decisions, we've changed, and everything. Maybe it's just the acting in that scene between the two of them was really good. And then, like, him giving her the house felt like realistic behaviors people would do.
He's like, I gotta get rid of my past.
Yeah,
It
and by
says,
giving
"I'm
her the
moving
house,
on."
Yeah.
he's moving on and getting married. He's like, her family's here. Come on. And I really, really liked that scene. And the first time I thought that they were not going to go back. And I was kind of scared for a second.
I can definitely agree to that. My favorite scene is a part of the thriller scene, but it is not the whole thriller scene. It's the part when he's dancing next to her and he looks over and he's like, I gotta go. You see for like a split second before he says, I gotta go, that like, it like sparks in his mind that he's falling in love with her already.
Yeah, the feelings are resurfacing.
Yeah, hence the good acting there, because it really feels like that.
Again, it's almost like you're saying Mark Ruffalo is the best part.
He's not. I'm just saying that that's my favorite part. I think he's a really great part.
I'll agree with Kurt on the end.
Thank you, Sam.
Suck up.
I don't really have a favorite part, so.
I also really love the part where they're dancing to Love Is Battlefield.
Yes.
Oh, so iconic. Least favorite part.
I think we should let Sam do this one first.
I don't know.
I saw this coming.
I don't have one.
Lies.
You have to have something you didn't like.
Brie Larson.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of get where Sam's coming from, because there's not a lot in this movie like that's real cringe. Like, I've watched some real cringe. You know what I'm talking about? Some real cringe rom-coms.
Yes.
And-
All the rom-coms I've seen.
And this one kind of avoids having a real cringe moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it holds up for being a movie that came out in 2004.
You ever seen You Got Mail?
Yes.
That movie does not hold up. It's a great movie, but you have to suspend the disbelief of technology.
That's true.
Like, that movie,
Relies heavily on the technology that was back then. If you do not know,
bruh.
you're gone. Out. Bye. I think my least favorite part is probably most of the parts containing the boyfriend, because I really dislike him.
Yes.
And I feel like he himself is not a great actor in this movie. And I think the very beginning of it, whenever she opens the door and he's there talking to her, I think that's my least favorite part, because if I know that it gives you an example of her like super fabulous life. She's got this boyfriend who's super hunky and he's a hockey
Except he's
player and
not
everything.
hot.
Yeah, I mean he's hot, but not.
She used quotation marks there.
Yeah, but he's got like zero personality. His personality is that I'm hot.
I'm an athlete. Is the personality.
Reminds me of Tyler. Sorry, not sorry.
Why was I gonna say that? Katie, is the really short part also Tyler's inclusion?
Hey, this holds up to what you said earlier. It makes you Jennifer Gardner and her Judy Greer.
Yeah, Katie had the audacity to call me Tom Tom earlier. Call me Lucy.
Because of some of the shit she says is very you. And you were literally sitting there quoting only her lines.
I was quoting every line, thank you.
Anyway, least favorite part is all of the times that Jenna was just super shitty towards Maddie.
You said any part where she's super shitty towards
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, towards Maddie. I don't know, she's trying so hard to be one of the mean girls, and it makes me want to, like, walk up and, like, shake her and be like, stop it. Don't want to be popular. Like,
Don't hang out with Brie Larson.
like, like, the grass is not always greener on the other side, which is another big message in this movie, but it just, I don't know, it reminds me of being 13 myself and, like, wanting to be one of the cool kids, and it's like, it's not what it's hyped up to be. It's not worth it. You're gonna lose your actual, like, only good friend by being shitty towards him because you want to be popular and impress the mean girls.
I can confirm Katie was really mean when she was 13.
I'm still really mean.
It's different.
It is different.
So,
Kurt says that I still have the mean 13-year-old part in me because 13-year-olds are known for hitting the one spot that you're insecure about yourself. That's what that's what being a 13-year-old is about, apparently.
So my least favorite part of the movie, I think, goes into the next question, which is about, is this a good rom-com or not? So is everybody like, are we good? Because I'm ready to go. I got my hot take.
Yes.
Are we sure?
Let's see how hot this is.
Okay,
It's gonna
so
be very lukewarm, I feel.
it
Yeah, me
probably
too.
is. I feel like they always
Predicting
are.
lukewarm tea over here.
So I dislike rom-coms for the most part because they always make, like, for example, her boyfriend, I'll agree he sucks, and then Mark Ruffalo's fiance suck. They cannot make a compelling love story without making the conflict person, I'm gonna call it the conflict person, horrible. I want, and I've seen one, a rom-com where the fiance that they're of the marriage they're trying to break up is a good person, or a decent person, or a realistic person. And I hate it, and I hate rom-coms for that reason. Give me a love story where a childhood friend comes back, they're happily married, and they don't turn out to be worshiping the devil, the current wife, or like sacrificing babies, because that's what it is. You guys gotta admit, that's always what it is. They are always maniacal. They're never happy.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on this because I actually feel like Matt's girlfriend, his fiance in the movie,
She's a horrible person.
while I dislike her as a person, I don't feel like she's a horrible person, nor do I feel like she's an unrealistic person.
No,
Yeah.
she's realistic in the sense that she's a complete bitch. But like, that's it. That's where her realism ends. Like, I've met
No,
bitches
because she's
like
nice
that.
to Jennifer.
But she's
she-
like fake nice. She's like, oh my god. And she's like, just you taking your photos of pill bottles. That one line was put in there to
I
make
would
you hate
say
her.
that to you too.
I know, but
Okay,
it
Lucy.
felt, yeah. It
Yeah.
felt so
Except that's not
catty.
Lucy who said that.
It
The mean
just
girl
felt so
comment.
catty.
What
And
I'm
it felt so unnecessary. And there's not one scene that had me convinced that Mark Ruffalo even kind of liked her.
That's-
Like, give me one scene where, like, I'm convinced Mark Ruffalo isn't just her family's here, so I can't leave.
So here's the thing, is that I still feel like she's a realistic person because she is fake nice to Jenna. She is like this certain kind of person. She prioritizes her career. She wants to be with Matt. I do not believe for a second that he likes her. No.
But that's
But
always
I
what it
believe
is.
that she's a real person and she has personality. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this.
I have to disagree to an extent because we've got to point out the fact, you really think she's gonna be like super nice to the girl that she knows her fiance was like madly in love with for years and years, and she's just randomly showing up again with no warning? And so I don't know. I don't think anybody would be like legitimately friendly to the person that you know that your significant other was in love with for so many years, and they just randomly pop up again in their life with no warning, with no explanation, nothing that alludes to why they're there.
I wholeheartedly agree with that point. And to make matters worse for her, they go out and do stuff together. It's not just like oh, hey, this is my friend, we're gonna hang out every once in a while. It's like
She's just there, and all of a sudden they're spending time together again, and
he has plans to go out to dinner with her.
And so fiance's probably going, ooh, red flag. I have questions. What's going on?
But I still think there's not one scene that made me think Mark Ruffalo even kind of likes her.
Same.
I would agree with that.
I agree.
I think she's valid to have the reaction she does when she sees Jenna
Well-
and runs into her.
Well, it is in speech before the wedding, he says that he's basically settling because you sometimes don't get your dream. So
Yeah. And I think that, and maybe this rom-com does it really well, so I really do like this one. I really like this one, Wedding Crashers, because it doesn't really have this problem as much, I don't think. Like, yeah, what's his face? Oh God, Bradley Cooper's character is a jackass, but it's more of a lighthearted movie. Like, it's more of an unrealistic movie in general.
Yeah.
But I was legitimately convinced that Bradley Cooper's character, spoilers for rom-coms, was that there was actual chemistry before they crashed the wedding.
There's a lot of movies that are like that.
But there are so many more I've seen where it's just like, oh my God, they're the villain, but they're not a realistic villain, and it sucks.
You need to watch more rom-coms.
Yes.
Okay, but here's the thing. You know what makes it really good? What makes to me what a really good rom-com? You guys ever seen Heartbreak Kid?
no.
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think I have either.
Ben Stiller. We'll have to watch it. It's a rom-com. But in it, and I'm going to end up spoiling it, and it's very obvious. All these movies follow a plot. So he gets engaged, gets married, is in love with her. Like, he's shown to be kind of sleazy, but like such a realistic level. Like, he might check out a chick who walks by or whatever. And they're on their honeymoon, and she accidentally gets sunburned. And so while she's at her place, at their hotel, he goes out and ends up falling in love with another girl. His current wife is never shown to be a bad person. And there's this one scene towards the end where, of course, she's kind of started to figure out, oh my God, I think he found love on our honeymoon. That she invites him out to lunch, surprise him and be like, oh my God, I'm healed and everything. And he shows up expecting it's the other girl. And when he turns the corner and she's like, oh my God, hey, honey. And you can just see the look of disappointment on Ben Stiller's face. And you see that she's going through that grief. It's like, oh my God, this is a compelling love triangle, even though it's going to end in the way you think it is with, him ending up with the chick he's cheating on. And it sucks because you can tell that he's now the bad person.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you are breaking up a marriage. So I think making you look like the perfect person or the hero is cool because we're supposed to root for the main character. But give him a little bit of a, oh my God, you are breaking up a marriage. And you never feel that because it's like, oh wow, they're dating the douchiest person alive. Or the bitchiest person alive. Or the cattiest person alive. So it's okay if their marriage ends. Let them break up a decent marriage. Not even a good one. A decent one.
Kurt's pro homewrecker.
I think it's a little bit more compelling for me because it adds a little bit of stakes.
I would agree with that. Like, there are movies that do have, like, the love interest. Like, both love interests are good, and you want to root for the marriage to stay, but then at the same time you're like, oh, but you can see the real attraction between the other two. And I get what you're saying, and I would agree with that. But I understand why in the case of some of them, like 13 going on 30, it makes it so much easier to root for Matt and Jenna to end up together.
It does, despite the
Even
fact
though, like Sam's prediction at the very beginning, they're gonna end up together. Everybody knows they're gonna fucking end up together. But there's no stakes to it.
if one ends up where they don't, that's the one that I'm now like, oh, okay. You
Okay.
know, one of them ends up alone, and the other one ends up getting married. And the moral of the story is, hey, kid, sometimes that's life. But then again, I don't like rom-coms. I don't get the same amount of escapism that other people do get in rom-coms. Like Katie talked earlier about the thriller scene, how that's her form of escapism and entertainment. And I think entertainment's perfect for escapism. It's not for me. I don't really judge people who like them, though. Especially because there are some really funny ones.
So I'm actually going to use a part out of the movie that we watched for our rom-com episode, our girls' night episode. Which, if you haven't seen that, go watch it. Love that episode with Katie and I.
It was a fun one.
It was a fun one. It was a good movie. Just to do like a minor spoiler, because I'm going to use an example from that movie. This girl basically flies out to meet this guy that she has been chatting with online on a dating website, and she's only had bad dates for a really long time, and this one guy seems absolutely perfect, just exactly what she wants, and he's like, I wish you were here. So she decides to go, just totally unprompted,
No warning. Just shows up.
And it turns out that she got catfished. Kind of a shitty thing to do, right?
Yeah.
So he admits that he had been catfishing her because he didn't like the way that he looks, and he feels like he can't get anything from anybody because of it, and tries to help her get with the guy that he actually used the pictures from, and he knows this person. And that guy is not a bad guy at all. It's very obvious in the movie the guy who catfished her is the actual love interest, and he starts to fall in love with her, and she starts to fall in love with him too. But the person that is in the middle of everything, I guess is a good way to put it, the guy that she's actually trying to go for, is not a bad person. They just are incompatible. And I feel like a lot of the time in movies, it can be hard to differentiate whether it's incompatible versus a bad person. I feel like Wendy in this movie was just incompatible, not a bad person. Because I think Katie's right. If someone came into our lives and Kurt was like, I used to be in love with her when we were a kid, but it's like whatever now, I would still be like, I trust Kurt not to cheat on me, but also like I don't think that I want this person around.
Yeah, you'd still have that little bit of worry of
It's
going.
completely valid.
And I just think that in this movie they're incompatible, not a bad person.
And unfortunately, I think some of that comes down to like there's not a lot of ways to portray that in a movie. Like, in the easiest option is to go with, let's make her just a little bitchy, not too much because we don't want everybody to totally hate her, but just enough for us to go, ooh, maybe we don't want Matt to end up with her.
I agree. And in a lot of movies, unless they want it to very obviously be like, I don't like them, well, why would they be with them if they didn't like them? I feel like a lot of movies unfortunately fall into the making them, like Katie said, slightly unlikable so that you don't want them to get together. Because why would they go with this person instead?
Yeah, so and this is I think maybe an issue, and it does pop up in this movie, and it pops up in even in Wedding Crashers. The person like Wendy, the trait that they picked to make them uncompatible was catty and bitchy, and the other guy, sports, meathead. That is literally the two personalities they pick for that type of character. Give me one where it's just like one of them's a major extrovert, one of them's a major introvert, and they realize that they've reached such a horrible impasse. One of them wants to be a nomad, one of them wants to stay at home and raise kids. Give me a little bit more realism, because like meathead, it can be a personality, and I've met meatheads, but they are typically with other meatheads, if that makes sense.
I wholeheartedly disagree there. Out of every single person that I have met, especially that has some kind of relation to you, some kind of relationship, are never with other people who are also meatheads. Regardless.
But you get what I'm saying, right?
I understand what you're saying. Like, he doesn't really have a personality outside of that. He's like, I'm famous. And
Hockey
hot,
player. And
a hockey player.
even when he was doing his striptease, he mentioned hockey and Ice Ice
and
Baby.
he played Vanilla Ice.
Like, it was really on the nose, and I also thought the whole, like... He seemed like he was actually really in love, though, with Jennifer Garner's character.
He did want to be around, and he wasn't a bad person.
No, I really did like him, but we had so little time with him.
And
the
every
same
scene was just about his appearance.
But yes, to what Corey said, but to tack on to what you just said, Kurt, we had so little time with him. We also had so little time with Matt's fiance,
Wendy.
Yeah, I mean, we got probably the same amount of screen time for both Wendy and the meathead boyfriend.
But I actually...
Maybe less time with Wendy.
Yeah, I think
probably
you got
a
less
little
time
bit.
with Wendy, but I also feel like in that same time they were able to make him appear like a good person and that he likes her, and I never got that. Like, Wendy got jealous over Mark Ruffalo, but I never felt it was jealous out of love. If it was jealous out of, oh, we're getting married. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like the meathead.
You didn't feel the actual emotion in their relationship. It was just like, oh, we're
Yeah.
supposed to be together.
But the meathead dude, I felt like he had an actual attraction towards Jennifer Gardner, even if it was just all physical. But I don't really feel like it was. I feel like he really did love her, and he
Really?
called her what do you call it, sweet buns,
Sweet Cheeks.
sweet cheeks, and he kept on calling her that. He even called her at work, and it actually was just like, damn, like, he really got shafted. Like, that dude really woke up and was like, being like, hey babe, and she threw an umbrella at him and then broke up with him, and then he tried to do a striptease for her, which I gotta admit, I've never done that for anyone. That's got to be a lot of work. I've never also been a famous hockey player. That's got to be a lot of work.
To be fair, the whole point of
I understand
having
she's a
him...
13-year-old kid, so it's
No,
weird,
but the whole point of having him be this kind of a person is to show that she was only with him for looks, for his fame.
But he was with her because he liked her. He
Yes.
thought she was pretty, and that's the part where I can see why he was with her, and I get why she was with him, but I didn't get that. He was a good example. He's a good example of what I like, of when I'm like, oh wow, I actually feel bad that she has just left him out in the snowfield, out on the hockey field.
It's just the fact that they did
Ice rink, I think, is the
Yeah.
hockey field. It's just the fact that they didn't do the same thing for Matt and Wendy.
Yeah, give me one scene of those two interacting.
Some kind of connection between them.
Of an actual connection besides, oh my god, move here with me, or, oh wow, Mark Ruffalo, you're so distracted right before our wedding. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's
I'm your
fine.
fiancé.
I'm not thinking about the fact that I want to suck face with Jennifer Gardner. Oh, it's a valid thought. It's a valid thought.
Gardner, Kansas.
But yeah, I'll get off my soapbox. It's a great rom-com.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good rom-com. It follows the formula of every rom-com, so I knew exactly what was going to happen the moment the movie started.
To be fair, this kind of started one of those major tropes.
It's true. This was the year of the rom-com. That it came
I
out.
wholeheartedly believe it's one of the best years for movies. Very
I don't know.
constructive thinking.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sam's got a lot of opinions on this movie.
no, I was gonna say, I thought we were on the year 2004. I was gonna say Sam's like one of his favorite movies came out this year.
Yeah. I will agree. 2004 is a pretty good year for movies.
Yeah, I really don't have a lot of complaints here. I think 2012 was another year like 2004.
2008.
2008 was also real good. Every 4 years, man. Thanks, COVID. Kind of ruined 2020.
To prove my point, here are some popular movies from 2004. Thank God. Kurt. White Chicks was made in 2004. The Notebook, Napoleon Dynamite, Mean Girls came out. 13 Going at 30, of course. The Incredibles, Dodgeball, Howl's Moving Castle, Shrek 2, Scooby-Doo 2, the movie. Anchorman, The Girl Next Door, Spider-Man 2.
This is a year for a lot of sequels.
Yeah. 50 First Dates, Eternal Sunshine. Kurt loves that movie.
Such a sad movie.
That's the one you tried to get us to watch tonight, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The Polar Express, Saw.
Wait, are you telling me the OG Saw came out this year?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you telling me Saw was part of the Rom-Com Cinematic Universe?
It is. You know what? 2004. Yeah, it started Saw. Those movies are great.
Miracle on
debatable.
Ice, which is kind of not like an amazing movie, but it was decent. It was okay. Shaun of the Dead, Ella Enchanted.
Oh, I love Ella Enchanted.
That's a cute one. The Village. Heck y'all. Heck all of y'all.
Never seen it. You can't.
You would
So-
not like it.
You can't
So-
heck me.
Meet the Fockers. I love that. I was actually going to use that as an example earlier. National Treasure.
Fantastic movie.
Fantastic movie. Of course it is. Garfield the movie.
It's quality cinema right there.
That is a movie, all
Oh,
right.
The Day After Tomorrow. Actually, I love that movie.
I don't think I've seen that
that
since
one
that came out.
scarred the hell out of me.
Oh. SpongeBob SquarePants the movie came out that year. Shark Tale. Great. All classics. All everything you could ever want.
Yeah, 2004 was a great year for movies.
Thank you.
I was real sad that Corey skipped Kill Bill Volume 2 and Life Aquatic by her favorite director.
I haven't seen Life Aquatic. That's
You
why I
haven't
skipped
seen
it.
that? That's like
No.
one of the only Wes Anderson movies I have seen.
I love Wes Anderson. I don't take the time to sit down and watch movies. The only time I ever watch movies is when I'm here or I'm sitting with my dad watching movies.
It just, I think we can all agree it was a great year. There's so many good movies.
It was. But to put us back on track, yes, this is a great rom-com.
Yeah, I guess I'm the Corey when it comes to how she hates Marvel movies. I hate rom-com movies the same way.
This is now why Sam is the real movie critic of our podcast. I'm calling him out for it.
It's fine.
I mean, the real movie snob.
That's fine.
not
Snob.
critic.
Snob is the word.
No. We need a critic and a snob.
I'll be the critic if Sam is the snob.
Okay, sure.
Great.
It's fine. All right, Corey, hit us with the next question.
Okay.
Oh, that's
what
right.
did you want to be when you were 13?
Spider-Man.
Not surprised.
I'm going last.
I wanted to be a professor at Hogwarts at 13.
Did you have a class that you wanted
Specifically?
Yeah,
Thank God.
Defending
God,
the dark
it's
arts.
I think that's the
Cut
time I
Corey
tried
off
to.
before she said it. I really wanted to be the Defense Against the Dark Arts
I called
professor.
it. I called it. It's on audio. I called it.
You
I-
did.
That's what I wanted to be. However, I know in my heart of hearts, I probably would be like the Transfiguration professor.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like that job's open in every Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, so
So-
DA would be fantastic, but I don't want to get fired by the end of the year. So
I mean, as long as you're not a werewolf or whatever.
A werewolf or Voldemort himself.
I guess Harry
I think you
Potter
should be
spoiler
fine.
or
alerts?
fake, or another fake, or a raging bitch.
What was
Or
it?
Well,
With,
you are a
Snape.
raging bitch, so
what was
maybe
it?
you
Wow,
would get
that's
Calm
fired.
down, Lucy.
What was it with J.K. Rowling and being like, I'm not gonna have like a teacher go more than 2 years in that position. Like, look, Lupin, he's perfectly qualified.
Lupin was the best professor they had.
He was perfectly qualified.
It was just the fact that he was a werewolf, and then he might turn into a werewolf and bite someone. No, Snape was helping him keep it under control while he was there. That's.
Oh yeah.
I can go on a whole rant on this, so
We can do
somebody
that. We
needs
can
to
do
answer
that.
the question. Corey, what did you want to be when you were 13?
I really had to dive into the vaults because I thought I wanted to be president, but that was actually when I was like 9. When I was 13, I wanted to be an astrophysicist.
Any reasoning behind it?
I really love space and documentaries about space, and I know a concerning amount for it, being somebody who has never been to college.
Kurt, I know you want to go last, so I'm going to circle back to Sam real quick. I know you said Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Any reason behind it other than the fact that it's Spider-Man?
No.
Have you met him?
Did you want to be like Peter Parker or just straight
Just
up Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Pew,
Who
pew.
doesn't want to be Spider-Man when they're a
look,
kid?
Look.
I still want to be Spider-Man.
That's valid. I just was hoping for some like deep like.
Oh, dude, if we're talking
You
like
saw my bedroom when I was a
I
kid.
I know. You also had a Winnie the Pooh nursery, so
Winnie the Pooh's dope. So
great. That's the quote that's gonna go on Sam's podcast shirt. Winnie the Pooh's dope. So
just Winnie the Pooh's dope.
if we're gonna be like that towards Sam, I'm gonna go ahead and admit I was convinced that I was gonna marry Mass Tuxedo from Sailor Moon for like 15 years.
same.
And I knew that he wasn't real. I was still like absolutely convinced. To be fair, Kurt's kind of like him. You're kind of an asshole. Which in that show, he is such a fucking asshole.
Oh,
And
he is.
absent-minded.
Not really.
The same way I am.
Not really.
Okay. I've only watched like 2 episodes. Level with me, okay?
Okay, so
He's-
anything else about Spider-Man? Did you want Mary Jane? Did you want Gwen Stacy?
Okay.
No,
Here's
just one of these
the better
women.
question.
I'm just trying to get Sam to talk more because he has been
Emma
real quiet.
Stone, Zendaya, or the chick who played
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst.
Emma Stone.
Really?
Yeah.
Add that another one to the vault.
Okay.
Over
Alright, Kurt.
Zendaya?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but the next question.
No, Kurt.
Blonde Emma Stone or redheaded Emma Stone?
Blonde.
I'm with Sam. Emma Stone in those movies was real hot. I was so sad when she died.
Rip.
So okay, guys. When I was 13, I wanted to be the manager of Burger King. Look, you guys, look. I had like completely forgot about this, and we were in Vegas, and my mom was drunk as shit, and she's like, for the longest time, I was so worried you're gonna grow up and we're gonna fucking Burger King. She's like, you always want to be the manager of one. She's like, I was so scared. She's like, you were like 15 when you finally stopped saying it, which is true. I was probably around 15 when I was finally like, I should have higher aspirations in life. I think I Googled one day when we were in like a class trying to plan out our life how much they made, and I got like really fucked up because I'm like, I gotta try in life now.
You're like, oh, this doesn't cover the bills.
Yeah, literally.
That's when you were like, maybe McDonald's instead.
Oh no, I really wanted free Burger King because,
Why Burger King?
bro,
It's so gross, man.
I loved Burger King.
It was on the drive to and from school.
Yeah, it was on the drive to and from school. It was so close to where we lived. I used to stand Burger King. Now I stand Wendy's and Arby's. I don't know.
Can take my money for those spicy nuggets.
Oh, they can. They can take the money, or Freddy's. Oh man, dude, I'll manage the Freddy's now. I don't know. You guys look like you guys were all having real high aspirations.
People, upgrades. Kurt, I wanted to work at a fantasy school.
I want to be a superhero that can web swing, so...
Corey's the only one that had like a real objective.
To be fair, I was in this class
Hey,
called
Burger
Avid.
Kings are real.
Sure they are, buddy.
I was in this program
Kurt's
called
quote right
Avid,
there.
which was like the worst thing ever, and it basically was trying to force you to apply to colleges when you were 12.
Look, Burger Kings are more real than Hogwarts. Okay, at least I was like aiming low, bro.
Hey, Hogwarts is real in my heart, man.
Tell that to the bill collector. I at least work at a Burger King. May not manage one.
Here's the thing, Kurt.
That's why I love you, Kurt.
You working at Burger King, I can just picture you singing, ding, fries are done.
I've worked there for 3 years and I still sing it as enthusiastically as I do my first day.
You make it sound like you still work at a Burger King.
I'm in the drive-thru. I'm like, welcome to Wendy's. Fuck.
I cannot tell you how many times at my job where all I do is talk on the phone, I almost go, hello, welcome to Applebee's.
See,
It's real. The struggle is real.
that's why I'm glad I don't talk to him on the phone at my job. And I'm gonna pick up, and be like, yo, it's a McDonald's. What up? Oh fuck.
Okay, so if you could change one thing about your past or one decision you made, what would it be?
Do you guys want to go one funny and one a little bit more serial? I don't really want to.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm not starting.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Thanks for that, Kurt.
Nose goes.
I guess I'll go. So my serious one, because I didn't prepare a joke one yet. My serious one is I did not try in high school, so I wish that I would have tried a little bit more. Like, there were things that I did really try hard for, but for actual schoolwork, like trying to go somewhere, do something, not really. I feel like I had a lot of potential that I really wasted, especially looking back on how, like, a lot of my teachers saw that and tried to push me, and I just didn't. Went the opposite way. And then for, I guess, my joking one, I should have left our first date after the first hour.
Wow.
So for context, Corey waited an hour and a half.
I waited 2 hours.
For me to show up because I got so incredibly lost. I got so lost we had to drive around for an hour and a half afterwards to find my car. I'm not joking with you. I do not know where I parked. I ran to the date.
The only reason I stayed was because my plan was if you stood me up, I had a good childhood friend who worked there that would give me free pizza. I was just going to hang out with her.
I was in a dead sprint for about 10 minutes, and then I had to stop right outside the window of the restaurant to clean myself up. Because I looked like ass.
Wow.
Yay.
I got my joke answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And slightly serious. Not inviting Kurt to go see Wonder Woman at 10:30 at night.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate
Is that your serious or your joke?
Both. Could be both.
Yeah, it works for both.
For context.
We were seeing one of our family friends play at a restaurant, and a movie theater nearby was playing Wonder Woman at like 10:30, and Kurt had just gotten his license. So I asked if he wanted to come see it, and he would come pick me up because, you know, we lived in the area, so he could just drive me back to our house. And Kurt wrecked his van he had just gotten from his parents and got hurt on a windy road.
And I still do not remember it. I got a real nasty concussion.
So what I'm hearing is
from
it's Sam's fault that Kurt got in a car crash.
No, I've never blamed
It
Sam.
was probably the dark, windy road that the GPS decided was a good idea.
Yeah, it's probably my idiot decision of never driving on the night, never driving at highway, and then not just pulling
yeah,
over.
that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
The best part, I say the best part, and maybe best is the wrong word, but Kurt was like freaking out so bad. He's like, oh my god, my parents are going to freaking kill me. This is going to be horrible. I mean, just pure panic. And then his dad shows up and he's like, that's fine. It's just a car.
It happens.
At least Kurt's okay. We're like, oh.
The answer was I was not okay. I don't remember seeing Katie or Sam that night, especially Katie. I'm not trying to be mean, Katie. I truly do not. Were your parents there?
Yes. Yeah, we were.
Yo.
I think I may still have photos. Maybe.
I don't remember. I literally do not remember anything from the night. And the only thing I remember from the next day is I went to a local chain breakfast place. It's super good. And I puked into pancakes. And then I tried to eat the puke because I was so incredibly concussed.
Kurt, no.
Yeah, I should not have gone out of the house. Should have gone to the hospital if I'm being entirely honest. But I'm like, I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess for my serious answer, I wish I wouldn't have put off pursuing, publishing my book for so long, or just publishing a book in general, because I've been writing for years. The book that I just published, I finished at the beginning of 2019. Literally, I think I just got the notification on Facebook that it was 3 years ago.
Wow.
On Thursday. So the book's been done for 3 years, and I waited to publish it for that long. So it's I wish I would stop being so critical on myself, that I could actually publish it and people would enjoy it, because all the feedback's been really positive, and it's why did I wait so long? So that would be my serious wish I could.
You can, if you like this movie. Oh wait, I'll save that for the real quick recommendation. If you like this movie, go read Katie's book. It's a cheesy romance novel.
It
from what I've been able to figure out. I haven't got the plot twist yet, if there is one, and then maybe it becomes a serious murder mystery. But so far, is it a cheesy romance novel through and through? I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm just being.
Yes,
Right.
it's cute.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
I like the feel good. I mean, there's some feels stuff in it, but
at the end of the day,
it's happy ending.
It's a fun romance novel.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation early.
And then I guess for my joking, one thing I could change about my past. I gotta think. I don't even think I have like a.
You could. There are so many good ones coming to my mind.
I wish that
Throw
I
'em
could
out.
stop my dad from inviting you and your dad over to play football.
That's what I was gonna say.
Totally kidding.
Fucking 17 years ago. Wait, no. Yeah, 17 years ago.
Yeah, that's been a long time, man.
Oh man.
I don't even. Man. It still just doesn't feel like a good joking one, because, like, I would never.
Oh no, it's a great.
Actually
It's
wish
so
that.
funny. It's.
I don't wish that I didn't meet Kurt. I wouldn't be
Your
here.
joke answer was that you wish you left.
Yeah.
Katie's joke answer is that she wished she didn't meet me. Sam's was that I didn't get in a car accident. You know who the real friend in this room clearly is?
That cat.
I have a cat laying on me.
Zelda's so cute, my baby.
I was waiting for her to meow. Like, on command.
Her little chirpy meow.
She like looked up at the mic, so I thought maybe there's a chance.
We'll take a picture for behind the scenes and we'll post it on the Instagram.
Maybe don't take a picture of me looking like I'm mildly high because of my eye.
Yeah, but then it looks weird because it's just your.
Torso.
Give her a kiss. There we go. Is that good enough?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, she looks so happy.
Okay.
So,
We'll save that for the.
my joking answer is I wish I didn't go out to see Wonder Woman. My joke answer is I wish I actually pursued to become a manager at Burger King. I could probably been a little bit further up the corporate ladder by now.
Yeah.
I worked at Papa John's for.
You could own like 3 Burger Kings right now.
Yeah.
I worked for Papa John's for less than a year, and I almost had my own store. It turns out you got to show like the most minor amount of competency in showing up on time as a delivery driver, and they're like, "Oh my god,
This
guy
guy
gets
has
it.
it.
this guy's not on drugs, or he's not on too many drugs." Got a feeling from who the old Papa John's crew's listening. Oh man, those great times. Some of you sucked. I'm pretty sure 2 of them are dead now. There's no way those guys are alive. I'm sorry. Like, they used to crash their cars that like once a month. Everybody else was real cool besides the crackheads. More serious, I wish I was a better friend. Like, I didn't realize that, like, friendship is really a two-way street until I was in the middle of COVID with. I mean, I'm not saying I'm sad with what friends I have, but they're all sitting in this room, really. Not trying to diss on anyone out, but a lot of my current friends I've met post-COVID. A lot of the people I talk to even weekly are either old friends who I've tried to rekindle from COVID, or people I've met after COVID, and it's surreal because it's like, oh yeah, in high school everybody's there, and then I moved as well, and you just don't realize how quickly, boom, it's 2 years later. Everything I said and did have an effect on it, and people sometimes just can't look the other way. Sometimes stupid decisions you made when you were 15 that you didn't feel like were big to other people.
It's almost like that's what this movie is about.
Yeah, and
Way to come full
movie made me
circle.
like real self-reflect a little bit, but
And not to add the negative Nelly note, but unfortunately, the further out of high school you get, the more you realize just how, like, fake some of those friendships were.
Oh,
Or not how deep they were.
or
how-
the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you will have friends that you realize these people are there for the long haul, and they're there regardless of what happens, and then you can look and see the other side of it. It's like, these people, in hindsight, meant absolutely nothing.
Or
Yeah.
or you have the whole like, oh my god, that was a great friendship, and then you fucked it up because you fucked around and found out.
Or they did.
yeah.
No, trust me, I can go back.
I can
Kurt
think
in
of
junior and
a-
senior year. Ooh, man, okay, we're not going to get deep. This is about my regrets, not theirs. I'm a great person. They should want to be around. I'm just kidding. I'm not that conceited, but yeah, I think I wish I was.
It's
just
okay
a
to be
better
a little
friend in general.
conceited here and there.
You should try to be proud of the person that you are and change the things you're not proud of, which is also what this movie is about.
Yep.
I wish that I
It's
had.
realizing your mistakes and being able to grow from them and learn.
Try to make the decisions that you aren't going to regret one day.
So moving on to recommendations, I recommend Katie's book.
Finally breathe. It's on Amazon.
You can check out the episode description on maybe this one, but definitely
Link in bio.
yeah, link in bio. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's my recommendation.
You stole my
and-
plug, man.
Hey. Now you got to think of a better answer. Not
Kurt's
saying
like-
it's not a good
Kurt's
answer.
my
it's
only
just-
hype. Like Kurt's my hype man.
Yeah, I'm Katie's big time hype man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you like this, I would recommend just about any rom-com, but I'm gonna specifically say 27 Dresses. That is probably one of my other favorite rom-coms.
I've never seen it.
I love it, and that's what started my love for Elton John. Because of the scene in the bar, they're singing Benny and the Jets, and it's great. It's such a fun scene. It's another one that's really similar to kind of like Thriller, where it's just like, that one's a little more realistic because people do get drunk and do stupid things in a bar. It happens. But it's a lot of fun. So I would recommend 27 Dresses.
I'm gonna recommend She's the Man and Pretty in Pink.
Oh, both are great movies.
Yes. She's the Man is a lot about realizing the person that you are is who you should be proud of and trying to be the person that you want to be. A lot like this, super funny rom-com. I would say that one is funnier. And then Pretty in Pink is a really, like, one of the starters of the genre and follow a very similar trope to how this one does, where you got the person you should be in love with. And Kurt, have you seen that movie?
No.
You should watch it because it has kind of what you were talking about earlier, except kind of in a reverse way. So it does something very almost like shocking in the movie, like the person you think should be the love interest that is like the best friend, the like everything, is not really a super great person and not really the person that she should end up with, and you still like them. You still kind of want her too. So you should watch that one.
I will have to check these recommendations out. I oftentimes try to from the podcast.
Sam?
My two recommendations are Big and Shazam because they have the similar premise.
Shazam.
Bro, Shazam is so good.
Sam just un-rom-com to the rom-com.
No, I can agree with Shazam. Big for me was like, I remember the piano scene.
Which they
Yeah.
reference in Shazam.
Yeah. But Shazam, bro, I've seen that movie I don't know how many times.
So good.
I think I saw it in theaters like 3 times, which is rare for me.
Do you have a rom-com that would fit?
No.
Have you
Maybe
seen
Party Crashers, I guess.
Wedding
Or
Crashers?
Wedding Crashers, whatever.
That movie so
I don't
good.
watch rom-coms, so...
I don't watch rom-coms.
You do now.
Yeah, you do now. If I have to watch Marvel movies,
If
you have
I
to
have
watch,
to watch horror
rom-coms.
movies.
Okay, but you gotta level with us, Corey. Into
With
the
what?
Spider-Verse is...
I thought Into the Spider-Verse was incredibly different.
And you liked
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
I thought it was fine.
You liked it,
My
though.
favorite part is not the main character, and she's my favorite part in every movie she's in.
Oh yeah, I mean, Crazy Rich Asians is...
That one's so much fun.
It is so much fun.
But I wouldn't recommend it if you like this one, because it's, at the end of the day, that one, the couple at the beginning, just couple at the ending, and it's a lot more about, generational.
Yeah, it's not the
Issues.
same kind of.
It's very rooted in like Asian culture.
Well, I mean, if you like rom-coms, I would suggest it as a good rom-com.
Yeah, I feel like you would probably enjoy it, but it's deeper than 13 going on 30.
Yeah, it's a little bit, it's different.
There's more
The
depth
premise
to it.
to it is very different. Yeah. And then what are we enjoying this week?
I've got 3 shows I guess I can talk about real quick.
Real quick.
So, Legend of Vox Machina, they've dropped 9 of the 12 episodes now because they're dropping them in 3 episode batches, which
They're
is
so good.
yeah, it's so good. It's just great. Peacemaker is also on it. Its second to last episode just came out. Also really great. 2 of my favorite shows of the year so far have come out at the very beginning of the year, so hopefully the rest of the year lives up to it. Then another one that my parents just binged through this whole week is the new Jack Reacher show on Amazon. Stars Alan Richardson, and it's the this season's just based on the first book, and it was like actually like really good compared to the Tom Cruise movies.
What did you say it was called?
The show's just called Reacher.
Oh, okay. I have
but-
seen trailers for that.
Yeah, it's based on the Jack Reacher books, where he was a military investigator and now been discharged and just goes around solving crimes in small towns. And I mean, we watched it in about a week. Like, it was just good and got pretty good. The ending, I think, could have been maybe a little bit better, but it wasn't like bad. And they already confirmed it for a second season 4 days after it dropped. So
Must have done well.
yeah,
I've been meaning to watch all three of those. All three of those look pretty fire.
yeah.
Vox Machina is so good. I haven't watched all of it, but I think I'm 3 episodes behind.
Yeah, we've watched halfway through, so
Yeah. And Sam and I've watched them together. Of course, Sam's watched them and then come over here and hung out with me and then watched them again with me.
they're so good.
They really are. They're so much fun. So that would be one of the things that I've been watching. The other thing, surprise, we're Catfish. I'm so mad that Hulu doesn't update with the newest episodes, and I'm too cheap to pay for any of the other
Subscription
services that have it. So I'm gonna have to wait for the final season to come out. But then I started watching Euphoria last night, and I was kind of telling everybody about this earlier, but it's a very, very good show, and I understand the hype around it. However, there's a few different storylines going on at once, and there's a couple that are very compelling, and I really want to know what's going on, and then the rest of them, I'm just kind of like, I really don't care. And it's also just, it's really intense, and there's a lot going on, and it's just something that I don't feel like I can binge. Like, I don't think I could spend an entire weekend watching just that, because it's intense. There's a lot of shit going on. You're talking teenagers dealing with overdoses and constant drug use, and I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of dark in some spots, but it is really good. And like I said, I understand the hype. Zendaya, just from the first 2 episodes, I mean, she's phenomenal in this. So, and I've heard the new season, she has even better performances, so I am excited to see that. But yeah, I don't think I could really binge through it, but I do think I'm gonna keep watching it just to really give it the full chance. So
That's fair. Trying to think of what I've enjoyed.
You've been watching a lot of Catfish. To be fair, we've been out of town.
That's true. We have been out of town. I did watch some Catfish. I put
Did
it
you?
on while I was doing something else.
I love that show so much.
Yeah, it was a good show.
It's the same shit every
the
episode,
bunny.
but
Yeah, it is.
The bunny thing.
We watched this documentary about Playboy Bunny.
Mhm.
That was really interesting. He had hired a couple of African American Playboys bunnies by like 1967, which I thought was really interesting because that was like kind of unheard of for something like that at that time, but
Yeah.
it was very interesting. It talked a lot about how the bunnies felt like it was the only place that they were actually protected, but as soon as they left, they were in quite a bit of danger because they were bunnies and everybody knew who they were.
yeah.
And they were expected to do certain things that were not so okay. But it was really interesting. However, Kurt and I recently rekindled our love for both It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I love that show. It's so funny. Everybody's a bad person there. And then also Dorohedoro. Love that anime. If you haven't seen it, absolutely watch it. It's trippy. It's weird.
Right up your alley.
Oh, yeah. It's also kind of deep, dark, dangerous. And there's a lot that goes on into it that I don't think that I can accurately explain without going into it for an hour and a half.
So as Corey said, of course, It's Always Sunny. I think I like a little bit more than she does. Like she can only handle 3 episodes because it's kind of cringe-inducing.
Yes, it is.
Like you're watching the gang forcefully kidnap a poor immigrant family, and doing an American Home makeover on them, and they're making fun of the show, and one of the characters, Charlie Day's character, is just like, oh, they're Mexican, they love tacos, like just like the guy in the show. They'll be like, oh, I kind of like horses, so he makes him into a horse. Which it's, of course, granted it's commentary and we're watching an episode from back when that show was big, but sometimes, yeah, I'm with Corey. It is hard to watch a bunch of episodes in a row, but sometimes I'm like, I love this. I love the cringe. I love a character almost getting married to a 12-year-old girl. I mean, it's hard to watch sometimes, but in the best ways.
I just prefer the Mick. Very similar premise, but a little bit more modern.
Yeah. And let's see, I played a bunch of Dragon Quest VII. I'm still binging through those games. So I actually kind of want to rant about this for a second. Okay, so you guys ever play RPGs?
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You guys know how you guys have abilities and healing spells and shit in RPGs?
Yes.
What if they took all your abilities away for a dungeon, and then we're just like, hey, fuck you. Use items that barely restore your HP, but that takes gold, and if you die, it takes gold to revive your guys. But if you need to make more gold, you got to fight more battles. But you can't just grind endlessly because you don't have healing. Oh my god.
So it's just telling you to get good.
Yeah, the game told me to get good for this dungeon. I just got my abilities back. And I like my abilities, the dungeon's easy because it's almost like half the fun of playing these games.
Is the abilities.
Is the abilities and the ability to be like, oh, you can deal 80 damage in a turn? Well, I can heal 80 damage in a turn, but then I can't deal damage. It's like that trade-off versus, yeah, it has... Dragon Quest VII. It's like the only time in this whole series I've had a dungeon that actually pissed me off, and I am like almost 9 games deep at this point. I have one more game to go after this one, and then like 2 more spin-offs, and I've played everything I want to play.
You know what? I actually do have a recommendation that does not involve Kurt, for once. There is this webtoon that I've been reading called The Pyramid Game, and it's about this class... This all-girls high school, there's this class where this girl whose father is the head of this huge corporation, she was allowed to pick out a bunch of people to be in a class with her. Since she is the head of it and they were afraid that something was going to happen to her. And basically about how social structure works and how it changes and how you can like manipulate it. It's very, very interesting to read. And it is not done yet, and I have to wait a fucking week for everything. And I'm just like, God, I just want to know. I just want to know so bad.
I used to really, like, there were like 3 or 4 that I really loved on webtoons.
Yeah.
And I would keep up on them constantly. And then I finally just got to the point where I was so annoyed that I would have to wait that I ended up just deleting the app.
Highly recommend downloading and go reading this so I could have something to talk to you about.
I'll have to download it again. Kurt, you reminded me, I had kind of like a crazy week at work, and so I wanted something just like mellow to do to like take my mind off of stuff. So every once in a while I break out Minecraft again, because it's just so like calming. Like, it's mindless. You don't really have to pay attention to what you're doing. But my problem with Minecraft is every day I will start a new save on it, because I feel like once I've done the basic things, I'm just like, okay, now what? And I don't always, like, I'm freaking sissy because I don't want to, like, go out and explore too far, because I'm like, oh, what if I die?
Same.
I'm going to lose all my shit.
So
And I can't take my map anywhere because I'm afraid to lose my map.
So you just do it. So when Corey had COVID, we played Minecraft for like 3 days almost straight, and yeah, we started like being like, oh, we're gonna cure zombie villagers, and we just started expanding our base, just slowly, just expanding out, never really going far, but just like expanding it out. So that's I get it. Minecraft still's fun.
Well, and it's also like one of the things is like, what if I spawn in a really shitty place? And I'm like, you spend so much time when you first like spawn trying to get supplies to build simple things just to make yourself like a little fort for the night. And then I'm like, oh great, this place sucks.
So this is I know I feel like I'm always talking about, but there's a Dragon Quest spin-off series called Builders, where you build up the base, but then after you beat the first base, you go through a portal. And now, boom, you're in a desert. You have no items. Your base is gone. You have new people with new questions, and you have to build a new base. Except like in the first area, if ore was kind of rare, the second area it's abundant, but there are no trees because you're in a desert. So doors, chests. So you know what I'm saying? Like each area tasks you with a new limited resource. It's super fun.
That sounds like something I would enjoy.
And then you can actually, like, again, get those 4 different... There's only 4 chapters, though, which kind of sucks. But you get 4 different bases, 4 different spawns. It's all fairly generated. It's a lot of fun. And there's quests and stuff to occupy yourself with.
Sweet.
So you talked about building forts for the night. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite recently.
Wow, what a 12-year-old.
Yeah. Nice.
Talk about 13.
Nice segue.
Yep. And speaking of 12-year-olds, Spider-Man's in the Battle Pass this season, and I'm 1 page away from unlocking him.
Did you get the Dune characters?
I didn't. But Uncharted's about to cross over.
As I say, I saw Dad's text about Uncharted.
I might actually have to...
So you can... Now there's 2 different Tom Holland skins in the game. Because they released No Way Home skins for it, and you can like do Unmasked Spider-Man where it's Tom Holland's face. And then there's just comic book Spider-Man.
That's amazing.
So this is gonna sound really typical of me, but I saw it was trying to be a fake post on one of my JoJo subs, because when the new season of JoJo came out and it had Jolene, who's the main character, season 6, in Fortnite, I was downloading Fortnite before I realized it was fake. I'm not even fucking with you guys. I saw it and it looked so incredibly real. Like, some of these fakes are starting to get a little too much for me. I ran over to my PlayStation because I was home and queued up in the downloads because I'm like, I'm going to buy every JoJo skin. I don't care. I don't care if I just play as JoJo characters meleeing everybody. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm still so sad. If they do a JoJo collab, I will drop unreal amounts of money on getting all.
Naruto's in the game, and they have so many different crossovers now. It's like kind of insane. Like, they have a bunch of Star Wars, Marvel, DC. You can play as Master Chief and Kratos.
Wow, I have
Uncharted.
no desire for any of these crossovers.
Again, but Corey, if they brought in JoJo, you know it's game over.
Yeah, I would not pass up the opportunity to buy a Joseph skin.
Yeah.
Y'all. JoJo.
Y'all alternative.
Y'all alternative? Corey's into y'all alternative people. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry, this is kind of like our Valentine's Day-y episode. We all kind of forgot Valentine's Day was a thing.
It's true.
Yeah. So, happy post-Valentine's if you want that stuff.
We hope you did the smart thing and wait until the day after Valentine's Day to go get your stuffed animals and candy that's discounted.
And chocolate, yeah.
That's what we always do. That's Tyler and I's Valentine's Day tradition, is you go the day after and I get really cheap stuffed animals and candy. Like my giant stuffed dog over in the corner is a Valentine's Day dog.
Cute.
That he paid $10 for.
Kurt and I always go to the same restaurant where we had our first date. It's a different restaurant now, and they always ask us why we're there. They're always like, oh, why would you come here on Valentine's Day? Because now it's a sports bar.
Yeah.
And we always tell them that story. They're always like, oh my God, that's so cute. I'm like, is it cute enough to get a free dessert?
No.
No, it's not. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye. Oh, follow us on our socials.
Corey's like, retract that bye. Yeah, go follow us on TikTok
Everything.
and Instagram and everything. It's at CDR Pod, except for our Facebook page, which is certainly doomed reviews.
Now, bye.
Yeah.
Adios.
Bye.
See ya.
Au revoir.
Oh, God.